and what we thought about it, and we can discuss it as a group and then go on to the next person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one did you?
Okay, so the ones that I liked, so it talks about how does structural functionalism, that's really hard for me to say.
What question? What number? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I don't know. 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 3. Number 3. How does it support or diverge from the proclamation?
That's a good one.
Yeah. So the way that I thought about that is I was thinking about how it talks about the roles of men and women. Like men are instrumental, women are expressive. It is the duty of the women to nurture. It is the duty of the women to take care of the family. It is the duty of the women to do all these things. And then men, it is to support and to take care of the family, to provide. It didn't say preside, but I mean, it basically could have, and that's what the proclamation says. So I feel like they're really similar in that way. And I guess the way that I figured maybe it diverged from that is that the proclamation leaves room for families that maybe don't have that structure, like single moms who need help caring for their children or, you know, stuff like that. Like it leaves room for a structure that is not the mom, dad, children. The mom stays at home, the dad goes to work. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think that was very well said. Yeah, I think that is what the proclamation does, and it also talks about how child rearing, while like nurturing and stuff, does typically fall under the woman, but that they're both accountable and responsible for the child, and so even if the father provides that, he's still
responsible for the nurturing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise, yeah.
So I don't know if this is like a bullet point. It might just be like my little blurb, but I just thought it was interesting how the book kept talking about how structural functionalism hasn't been used very much in the last few decades. And when I first read that, I was like, then why are we learning about it? Like, why are we spending time studying it? But as I read through it more, you know, it really worked back in the day, when the family was, I don't want to say, I don't know, when the family was less colorful, I guess, more intact. Because just like Lexi just talked about, the instrumental and expressive roles of male and female, and like the book, it talks about the origin of the family and how when family was created, like this theory helped explain why families came about. Like it answered the question, why do we need a man and a woman? And I guess maybe it's less popular now because a lot of people don't think we need a man and a woman. But I don't know. I can get why we're learning about this theory in a Mormon classroom, or in an LDS classroom, I should say. And I see how it's valuable. And so I think that is why that answered the question. And then I thought more about like growing up in my own life. I grew up in an LDS home, but my dad, his family was not active, and my mom her parents were converts. So I'm really kind of like a second generation Mormon, but you wouldn't be able to tell that just because the gospel has just spread throughout our family. And, you know, I have cousins who aren't active, and I have cousins who are gay, but that the roles of moms and dads and expressive and instrumental and, you know, the different the different ways that men and women interact in a family together have impacted my whole family and have given us, all my cousins and I, kind of a base to go off of. So the roles of a man and a wife, as explained in the proclamation, really affected my family, and as kind of described in the book.
I don't know. I think that even though supports the traditional family, it gives room. You know, it was written in a way that it gives room to what it could be called deviant families. because like Lindsay said it before, Lexi said it before, um, there are single parents, and single parents are still included because it says if something happened that the family cannot be, wife, husband, and children, there is still room for that kind of families. So it supports and diverge from the theory, but at the end it just kind of comes together. The only thing that the proclamation doesn't allowed for is for same gender marriage, just because before that it says that marriage is supposed to be between a man and a woman. So it's like it's already established in there at the beginning of the proclamation, and then at the end, explains the responsibilities of the parents and whatever. So
See, and I think that brings into the structural and the functionalism.
Yeah.
Because the man and the woman, you need somebody who's part of the function of it, but you need structure, the structural part. You need both parts to work together. And I think that's what it's pointing out, because we all have somebody who's in a same-sex relationship. We all know someone who's affected by that and who could be very offended by the way that in the gospel it's like you need a man and a woman to have a family, because it's two different parts. It cannot be two the same parts. It's the two parts. In one of the classes I took when I started school again, we had to read the transcripts when Congress had decided to go ahead and support gay marriage, and a letter written by the daughter of her parents divorced, her mother was lesbian in a relationship. She said, I was very much part of that, and being in that culture, I had to talk about how great it was and wonderful it was. But the truth is, it was hard because I was cut off from my father. I was cut off from half of who I was. My half of biology was not present in my life. And she said, I think that's the hardest thing. She signed for just not herself, but there was like many others who had been grown up in her same circumstance. And they said, we want you to hear our voice, that we feel like you're not thinking of the children because you're not allowing the other half of their biology to be supported. They need to know both parts. And so that's where like the structural and the functional part comes in. That perspective goes into the proclamation that, we have two parts. I always teach my daughters, you are just as important as a man. We just do things differently, and there's nothing wrong with that. Your value is still just as great. And that is what you see here with the structure and function. Part of the whole theory is the two parts. I just feel like at the beginning it was very rigid, saying a family is only a man who supports and the woman who takes care of interpersonal relationships. Whereas with my husband and I, it just depends on where we're at. He had a time when he didn't work. He couldn't get a job, and I was the one working and he was home. And so you have to be able to adapt as you need, but realize the importance of both.
Yeah, for sure.
I read that letter. I remember reading it for a class too. It was pretty powerful.
Yes, it was.
Kind of like, I don't know, I just remember because one of my best friends from high school is gay, and my brother is gay, and so I remember reading it thinking, like, oh my gosh, this is going to affect, like, what the Supreme Court just did is going to affect my family, like my nieces and nephews and my kids. Like, I love my brother. He's not less of a man to me, but it just like kind of sent ripples through, and I remember reading that letter. And I was like, thank you so much for saying it. It was like such an answer to prayers, and I forwarded it to my parents, and it really helped my family cope better. And so, yeah, I really liked that article. In fact, thanks for reminding me about it, because I'm going to go back and read it.
Good. It was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
So sorry, I just wanted to jump right in and get that one out of the way.
Oh no, that was good.
Oh, that was good.
That was
Thank
really
you. Thank you, Lydia. Okay, so I'm gonna do the second one. What does instrumental and expressive have to do with the structure and function, and how does this theory is related to the family proclamation? So it's kind of what you, Lydia, was talking about. So instrumental are the tasks that need to be performed in order for the family to survive, like food, shelter, the basic needs of the family. And the expressive is the nurtural part, like how we satisfy the psychological needs of the members of the family, such as love, caring, and giving support, understanding, and so forth. So, and how those two concepts of the theory closely align to the proclamation. It's like what we were talking about. The proclamation says that the father mainly is responsible is the provider and is supposed to support the family. And the mother is the one that is the nurturer. But like we were saying before, both parents are responsible for the well-being of the family, of the children. Both of them are going to be accountable for the discharge of their responsibilities or the fulfillment of their responsibilities. Like, they be rewarded, blessed, whatever, or they're going to be chastised for, not fulfilling their responsibilities. So one of the parts that, and I don't know if anybody's going to do that, how let me see.
Did we lose her?
No. Did you guys, I think it's the fifth question, maybe? The polyandrous unions. They list two different propositions in the book, and what does it mean that means polyandrous unions?
That's number
Like multiple wives?
Multiple husbands.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know, when I was reading this instrumental and the expressive, I was thinking that, okay, so in the book, I don't know what part it says that, okay, so many women, they have like especially poor women and poor women in like a difficult situations, like a poor situations. How do they do? And I think it's some part in Africa, whatever, that they do take more than one husband because the situations are so bad that they need them to help them support their family, their children. So I was thinking about that when I was doing like the instrumental and expressive. It's like the woman still provides the expressive part of the psychological needs of the children, but then they are so poor that even one man is not able to take care of all the needs, because usually those women have children with different partners, so they do need their help, whatever. Did you guys get a chance to look into that?
Was
Yes.
it the what was the paper called? It was part of the reading, right?
Polyandrous. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm saying it correctly, but
polyandrous.
Yeah, they talk about it in India. In India.
oh, in
Uh-huh.
India was it? Yes, it was some
Yeah.
part
No,
of
India was polygamy.
Well, I just looked up. They have it here also in India, in
Oh, okay.
Africa.
I thought it was.
Just groups and tribes. So it'd be both India and Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought in the book it just mentioned that it's very rare, but it appears when there's economic poverty.
Yeah.
I think that's very similar to the LDS when they were traveling. Men were dying, and women needed help and needed security and needed to be sealed to someone. I mean, you adapt to the needs of the current crisis, and it was a crisis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys get a chance to do the quiz? Because there was a question there too that
Mhm.
it wasn't, due to revelation,
was
but it
about
was more of a need.
polygamy. Yeah.
Yeah, polygamy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the
Well-
economic need and how children can help support the father, the mother.
Mhm. Yeah.
And also, it is a recurring theme in every dispensation that there's polygamy in the gospel. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there. We will probably have it again in the next life, but that's besides the point.
Don't talk about that.
But yeah,
I
but
don't want to
definitely
consider
not
that
really
right
for the
now.
church. It was for the needs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom always jokes. She's like, I'd love it if polygamy was a thing, because then a wife could be the laundry wife and a wife could be the bathroom wife.
We're gonna have less work to do. That's
She's
what
like, I could be the snuggle with babies all day wife. And I'm like gagging over here.
Reminds me of the giver. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, no thank you. No thank you.
Yeah, my mom always liked to quote, well, there's going to come a time when, there's 7 women that'll ask a man to marry just for his name, that she'll support herself and she'll just want the man's name. Like, okay.
I don't know, but I
gosh.
read somewhere that that a lot of men are not gonna be able to marry because there are not too many women around. So I don't
Or
know
we're
how
all
is that.
too stubborn. We don't want to get married.
There's that.
Yeah.
What page did you find that the what we were talking about, the polyandrous?
There's
I can find it.
It's on
In
page
the black.
in the book, there's stuff about it on underneath like marital structure,
Yeah, it's page 50.
family universality and
Oh,
stuff.
okay, got it. Okay, yeah.
But that doesn't. Oh yeah. In contrast, polyandrous multiple husbands unions, which are very rare, appear to be adaptations of economic poverty to attributable to life in a harsh environment. Man, I'm so grateful that I don't need 5 husbands. And I'm so grateful that my husband doesn't need 4 wives right now. Like, yeah, it might come, but I'm gonna enjoy it while it's not here. So
Well, and if you think about it, if it's in the next life, then we're perfected. So we don't have all those like weird feelings that kind of we have in this.
stop it. Stop it. I'm not there yet.
Well, obviously, I'm not either.
I've only been married for a year and a half. Don't ruin this for me.
I'm sorry.
I'm married for about 34 years and I'm not ready. And I don't think that I will ever be ready.
Mildred's not ready either.
No.
We'll make a club, Mildred. No, I'm just kidding. We'd be cast out. Let's not make a club.
I'm sure it will also be a choice. I don't
Yeah.
think we would ever be forced to do anything we
Oh
wouldn't.
no, definitely. I don't think.
Well, and it might be like an eternal what's the word? Increase thing. Because like
Oh, yeah.
who knows, we might have heavenly mothers if it's like an eternal law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I did is tell my husband I have to be number 1. That's
Yes. Okay, so do you guys ever watch the show Sister
The one
Wives?
with the privileges.
I get all the Christmases and all the birthdays and every other Mother's Day. But the show Sister Wives,
Yes.
could not do it, where they all have like their day of the week.
I can't watch that. It's too. No.
I know.
Come
I
on, they
watched
live
like
in
one
Vegas, you
episode
guys.
and I was like, oh.
Oh,
They live
yeah.
not far from where I'm living, and it's just weird.
Uh-huh. Don't get
I'm
any
like, I don't
ideas
know.
now, Olivia.
A few times I've seen the show, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know where you're at.
You do?
I know
You
where
know?
live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever seen them or no?
Once.
Yeah.
At Sam's Club or Costco. I don't remember which one.
Here in Rexburg, there are a ton of Mennonites. So they like
Yes.
have long hair up in braids and buns and long dresses all the time. And holy guacamole, they hit up Joann's fabric store on Black Friday and they get all of it for all the clothes they're about to make sure out that year. Like, the biggest competition in this area is the freaking Mennonites on Black Friday. They be gone. They save their pennies and they go. They're up at like 12 a.m. They don't even celebrate Thanksgiving. They're too busy couponing.
They just take it serious. Get out of the way.
Yep.
My girls would see them and they're like, what is wrong? Why are they wearing a dress? Ugh.
So I have a question. It's not related directly to any of the discussion questions, but it's in the book, and I wanted to get your guys' ideas on it. So on page 53, it's in the critique section of the theory. Down towards the bottom of the page, it says, as the research examples in the chapter demonstrate, the theory is very useful for cross-cultural scholarship. And then it says, no other framework has been as successful in providing us with an understanding of different family forms and why they work at various times and in various places. And then they talk about marital, like monogamy, polygamy, and all that stuff, and then economy. So what do you guys think about that? Do you agree or do you disagree? Because like we don't use this theory as much anymore.
Well, that's.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. That. Who was talking?
Go ahead.
Lexi?
Okay.
Go, Lexi.
I think that we use it more than we think we do, or at least like a form of it, maybe a watered form of it. Because I don't think that we use expressive and the word escapes me, instrumental, as much anymore. But I think we still use kind of the foundation of, well, so this is kind of what works. So if something's not working, so I think that we evaluate based on kind of the same premises, but I don't think we think about it in the same way. Like, I think that's why the theory is outdated, because the family has adapted and changed so much.
Well, the family has, in a lot of typical ways, become outdated itself. So.
But then when you read the 2 extra articles about the deinstitutionalization of marriage, it does bring up in different cultures how this is still very firm of what's going on in a family.
Can you tell me what page that's on in the article? Because I really struggled with that one.
Okay.
So.
Which article? They both kind of cover. So the
institutionalization of marriage one.
Well, there's one that's revisited and one that's
the original one.
The original.
Yeah.
The one that's saying it's not been deinstitutionalized.
Well, one is on page 59 of the Journal of Family Theory. But then the other article is all over. It's like.
Yeah, I felt like the second article was not very fluid. First of all, it was
I struggled with that one too.
On page 4 of the 18, toward the top, it's like, on one hand, the development of the new rule is likely to engender disagreement and tension among the relative actors. So then it goes on down. To some extent, similar changes in marriage have occurred in the United States, Canada, and much of Europe, but the American situation may be distinctive. And so it goes on to talk about the other countries. And then it goes on, then the date of 1978 of writing his article and what he's noticed, and he mentions other countries and where they're different at different times. And then it starts the growth of cohabitation.
Okay.
See, I think that the ProQuest, this was really interesting. I think this article was really good.
If that one is the first one, then I agree. The second one was terrible.
Yeah, the second one was really hard for me to read. I was also reading it early in the morning, so.
It's just unprofessional. The things she cited were the same things that the other one cited, and they didn't go for her points. And she added personal stories. Personal stories are not empirical evidence. So I'm gonna write an empirical journal article.
Lexi, you just need to just write a letter. Just write a letter to somebody. Yes.
On it. I'll do it. No, I won't.
I really have a hard time with NCFR lately. The National Council on Family Relations is just, I follow their newsletter and I read a lot of stuff of theirs. Very disappointed lately. Thank you, Lydia, though. Thank you for pointing that out. That helps me understand that more.
Well, like I said, and I like how it also goes on to talk about step families in this and the changing of the step family and how they were hoping that would evolve into like marriage, but it's actually affecting the first marriage instead, and like talking about stepchildren. So that's why it's evolving. But again, then it goes back to talking about, you know, this theory can be across any culture just because of everyone's at a different place. At the different stages. It goes on to talk about the different stages. Page 5.
There it is. Okay.
I don't think that we have talked about question 1 yet. I think we've talked about all of them except that one.
Well,
Sure.
might as well.
I can do the first one, unless does somebody else say they want to?
Oh,
Go for it.
Okay. So it's asking about social survival, and I know the book, if I remember correctly, mentioned, I guess, the two biggest things when it comes to social survival, and that is procreation and then socialization of children. And so basically they're looking at like the nuclear family fulfilling both those roles, because obviously marriage typically leads to having children, and then within that family they're socializing their children to then be prepared to enter into the world, marry, procreate, socialize children. So basically
the circle of life.
like our whole society is like structured around the family because it keeps like society going. Like we still have a society because of family, because two people, a male and a female, marry, procreate, socialize their children, who then follow the same pattern. And then in terms of how does this theory relate to the human body, I guess, does that mean like the survival of the human body?
Or like the
I guess
biology of procreation too.
Or yeah, so
Isn't it
again,
there where it says that it makes a comparison between the family and the human body, and how the organs have to work, in harmony in order to be able to survive, and then that's why the family has to the family has many parts, and then that's why they have to work together in order to continue. I don't know. I mean,
there you go. Yeah, that works too. Like a lot of, I felt like this talked about was like the function, like the function. So we kind of like, that's kind of like with the human body, is the body has functions to help its survival that you can't really ignore.
Exactly.
And so kind of the same way with this theory.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I was thinking about? That the same way that the body kind of, it doesn't like to adapt, and then finally adapt and reaches an equilibrium. Remember, the same thing with the family, and that is true, because in every family there are certain people, certain members of the family, whether the nuclear family or the the cousins or whatever, if they don't share the same values, then the equilibrium is kind of broken. Still, you get to kind of adapt or whatever, or accept, and then the family is able to reach an equilibrium. So I don't know. I think that it has to do with kind of working together in harmony
Mm-hmm.
by having the same values or similar values. And then if we don't have the same values, then we just work to achieve an equilibrium, to reach an equilibrium. And if we don't, then the family dysfunction.
Yeah. And there's deviant behavior and
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
They
thought it
can't
was
work
interesting
apart.
how I was saying if these things are not followed, you'll have this terrible chaos.
What do you know? It's like they were predicting the future.
Ta-da!
All right.
It's like there's a little something there.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
really
did we ever
liked
get
how
a?
this- Oh,
Oh no, go ahead, Elizabeth.
I was just very, even though like we do consider it outdated, possibility that comes with the nuclear family, and I feel like when you like read the proclamation to the family, like that's really what the gospel. Like there was like I think it was the parenting class that you had to read this like round table discussion or something
Oh,
like that
yeah.
with the apostle and general authorities, and they talked about the ideal family. Now obviously not every family falls under it, but this is kind of like what you're trying to achieve, the ideal family of mother, father, and children. And it's because it kind of brings the most stability that you're able, to kind of go through all the crises of life with
Well,
like the best
I've been
function.
studying a lot of child classes this semester, and another thing it points out is how critical it is for children to be taught things from 0 till 5 to foster curiosity, to encourage their learning, to stretch them, to pull that out of them, to find out what they're interested in. And it's very vital, and it talks about the influence of mother and father at that very young age. And so again, like this brings out their curiosity, and they notice that a lot of single mothers with that are raising children, the mothers are young themselves, so they don't have a lot to work with, and their children lose curiosity because they don't interact.
They don't
and they
have
need that.
the opposite gender, yeah. Brother Ratcliffe. I don't know if any of you know Brother Ratcliffe. He's a teacher on campus, and he like has spearheaded the advocacy society on campus. And every January, he takes a group of students to New York, and they go to the United Nations, and they talk to United Nation. Like they meet with people from all over the world, ambassadors from all sorts of countries, and they do advocacy work about family and women and motherhood and children and how important it is that mothers and fathers and the nuclear family is supported. And one thing that Brother Rarick always says is the world would have us believe that a mom and a mom or a dad and a dad is just as good as a mom and a dad, but emerging social science is showing just how vital a mother and a father are. And he's like, what the gospel and what prophets have been saying for decades, even longer, forever, is now finally being supported by social science, because social scientists are noticing a shift. And so even super like liberal, don't really care about mother and father, roles. They're doing research into children and childhood development and families, and they're finding these things. And so there's a lot.
And now,
social science is out there.
Well, and also like if you think about it, we couldn't really research these things
Because
because it wasn't accepted in society.
Yep.
So
Yes.
like if there were children being raised in homes
Exactly.
with, to the same gender parents, it was very rare and few and far between.
Taboo. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
But they've even done research, like Lydia said, in single parent homes too.
Yeah.
Whether it's through death or divorce or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's I feel like whenever you talk about family and romance and love, you're playing a really fine line between like insulting people, like, let me study you because you're not normal, so
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It
And we know
is.
single parenting is hard, but
Yep.
we also know you can do it. It's just extra work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. 9 questions down.
Boom.
Hooray.
Great discussion. Thanks for helping me understand it better, guys. I was struggling with this one, not gonna lie. I was coming to the group tonight thinking it's gonna take a miracle. I'm gonna need some help for this.
Okay, guys, did you read? Somebody posted a question on the question section that she had difficulty with
Getting the test.
knowing what about propositions. So I said, I'm gonna, and then I answered her, and I'm like, I'm gonna bring that into our this.
Was it this lesson's questions and conversations?
Yeah, I said I'm gonna bring it to our discussion group, a study group. I said because our study group is the best. So let me see if I find.
So wait,
question.
propositions to this theory. One of the study group questions said list 2 different propositions from the theory. The book doesn't really list them.
Yeah. Oh, you got the question. Okay.
They don't seem to be in either of the articles on the
Oh, it's
deinstitutionalization of marriage. Am I just overlooking them?
There's propositions, there's concepts, and there's assumptions. So the assumptions we know are the things that we just take for granted, like the
Yep.
fact that you can't be a nuclear family. The wrong assumption, but it's usually the assumption people make. The concepts are the things that build like family, how it's structure, what it means, functioning, how it applies to the theory. I think that propositions are like the.
I like the.
Yeah, we learned about it in like the 2nd or 3rd week. We had to write a paper on
Yeah.
it, the what is
Yeah,
theory
it's-
paper.
It's building like the concepts are
bridge
considered the building
between-
blocks, so it's like relating the relationships between them.
Mhm.
Yep. Propositions are the bridge between the two.
I guess that's why it's not really stated on the book.
Yeah, because it's like we have to do it
Yeah.
ourselves.
Uh-huh.
And it's probably different for everyone, and it's probably different.
Exactly. We all might have a different answer.
Well, and that's kind of what the book talked about, where it was kind of like, this isn't a solid theory because the theorists kind of pick and choose
Mm-hmm.
and build upon their own.
Yeah, some of the theorists don't even acknowledge it as a theory. So
Yep. I know. I was like, dang, that's sass. Not my theory.
Not my theory.
Take that, President Trump. But yeah, so that was a quiz question too, wasn't it? The propositions one?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I just took it and I don't remember.
I took it last night and I should have waited longer because
I just took it before our class. I was telling me just because
this
today
has
is the
been a
last
hard
day.
theory for me to grasp. So poor Brother Brat's probably going to be reading my questions like, what?
All right, guys, I gotta take off. Sorry.
No, you're good. Have a good night.
Yeah. Good night.
Good weekend.
You too.
Remember who you are. Jesus loves you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, by the way, Emily, I was
Yes.
talking about you yesterday.
Oh no.
Bring it.
That's usually a bad thing.
No, actually, it was really great. I had another class, and it was like just really a great class. And then I have to talk about you because remember what you told me last week about
Oh,
my
yeah.
question,
Uh-huh.
and then I related that to her situation.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, yeah, oh, that makes sense. And she told me, just please tell her thank you.
Oh,
And I'm like,
good.
I
Oh, good.
will let her know. I said, because whatever she told me, I said, I'm just passing it to you because I think that it will really help you. And I said, and then for sure, I'm going to let her know. I said, because I'm going to have a class tomorrow night. So thank
Good, I'm
you.
glad
You
it
were
helped.
you were really inspired when you wrote that down. And I just
Oh,
wanted
good.
to say thank you again. And
Oh,
you know,
good. I'm glad.
yeah. Yeah.
It was a long road. It took 17 years to get to that point. It was a pain, but
Yeah.
it's made all the difference in our relationship. So
Yeah, and it's not, her situation wasn't like a kind of, yours and mine was kind of similar. Hers was
yeah.
different, but the principle is still apply.
Uh-huh.
So thank you. Thanks. You were
Yeah.
really inspired the moment that you answered, that you replied to my question.
Oh, that's
Thank
good.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never, to be honest, I've never cared about an online class as much as I care about this one. And it's mostly because of you guys. Because I'm like, oh, I have a study group that can help me understand this, and we can talk together.
And I appreciate that we don't get on here and everyone's like, oh, it was easy. Okay, we're good. Bye. And I'm like, wait.
Yeah, no, sometimes it's really hard. It's a 400 level class, guys. It's difficult.
Yeah.
This is not like a science foundation class where you can be like, global warming is bad because the whales. That's because. You can't do that with this class. Well, and the thing for me too is like my hope is to be a therapist, and so these theories I have to understand them.
My hope too, but at least you're gonna have many years to be a therapist. I'm running out of time.
Mildred, don't die on me. Stay alive. You're a young spry thing. You're in your prime.
Oh, yeah, right. So I really have to do this. Like
Well, and Brother Brat says all the time that theories will be tools that you use. So I'm like, I need a big toolbox. My toolbox can't be wimpy.
Did you guys take that class? I think it was Psychology 320.
I'm taking Psych 322 right now, Adult Development.
No, I'm pretty sure this was 320, and we have to build, to build our toolbox with all the principles and theories and whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I took that class.
You took that class?
But I think I took it a while ago. I think I took it while I was pregnant, so.
Ooh, we don't want to talk about that.
But I remember building a toolbox.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
I don't remember. What was it? It was Psychology something.
I had to build a toolbox, sort of a toolbox for my family stress and coping class.
Oh, wait.
With Sister Sari.
Maybe that. Who's your teacher? What teacher do you have?
That was the bad teacher.
It was the terrible teacher that got fired in the middle of my semester. Not even in the middle. A week before finals. And we got an email on Monday morning, and we had a new teacher. It was like, oh. So that's why I was super nervous this semester, because last semester was like the apocalypse of online professors for me. Killed off 2 in one semester.
I think that was the class, yeah.
Every time Brother Brat posts an announcement, I'm like, still here. He's still kicking. He's still alive. Because, like, last semester was rough for online teachers. So when does everybody graduate? Mildred, you graduate soon, right?
Yeah, I need to take 2 more semesters, and I should be done.
What about you, Elizabeth and Lydia?
Me too, 2 more.
2 more.
Me too.
Yeah.
You guys feeling the weight of the responsibility sinking in? Maybe not Mildred and Lydia, because you guys are already responsible.
Or internship or online, or which one?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
like. Well, me too. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the internship, but I really would like to do the internship. But I want to do the certification too. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm doing the relationship certification next semester with Brother Ratcliffe.
But where? There in Idaho?
Yeah, Brother Gardner had that family life coaching class.
Are you gonna take that one?
No, but a girl in my research methods class is taking it, and Brother Gardner said he got 100 emails within an hour.
Oh, wow.
So he's like, we're probably going to do this again, because online students want a different option, because they're tired of, apparently, the internship options that are available right now. So I was like, yeah, that would be cool. You should definitely do that, because I know that a couple of you guys said you were interested in it.
I mean, I would like some hands-on, like.
Have you looked in your community? Because I was kind of frustrated too when I looked at the internships that they listed, and I'm like, well, this doesn't really, unless I do it online, like none of this is in my community. So then I've like started to research organizations in my community, and I live in a small town too. Okay, like small town, coast of North Carolina, like coastal area of North Carolina, so it's pretty small. But I have so many organizations that are focusing on families and like children and like really like. Granted, this is a low poverty area, so that might be why. But like,
Yeah.
So it's
Like social programs.
Because I want hands-on experience too. Because I don't want to just. It's like,
but like what kind of
have my education on the computer. I don't want to do my internship on the computer.
I know, me too. I don't want to do that. I want to just go there and try to help out, to do something too.
Yeah.
So where did you research? What did you?
Yeah, Mildred, you live in New York, right?
Yeah.
I
Homegirl.
literally just
in
like
your backyard.
typed in like.
I'm sorry.
Like family services,
Family services.
And I just looked at different organizations, and
like family.
Because a lot of them are just local.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, and it came up with a lot of options. Yeah. And I live in like a small little city, so like.
So I should have plenty around here
in your community and reach out to see if they have internship programs, because I already know like a couple of the ones I found on their website say that they have internship positions, kind of deal.
Yeah, there's hospitals through your state. They have some, so there's just different ones.
Yeah. And they should get approved. The only thing I think they say that really doesn't get approved is like you can't work in like child development kind of places. It's got to be more like family.
Because you're not a child development major, you don't have those certifications.
Yeah.
But you can work, Mildred, you could work in a developmental disabilities agency. You could work in like a youth prison camp and a youth rehabilitation center. You could work in a halfway house. You could work in like a behavioral health center, like where people get sent. Yeah.
There's usually always a crisis center in a community.
Also, depending on the counselor, because they have client confidentiality, but my friend, she did her internship in St. George, Utah. And she was under a counselor who created a workshop in his community for families who struggled with addiction, like somebody in their family, like in their family of origin, had an addiction. And she went and she helped run the workshop. And since it was a group thing, she wasn't infringing on the client confidentiality, because it's kind of like an AA group type mentality. Yeah, so look for those, and you can create your own to be approved by the internship dude.
I know, yeah, yeah. But they said that not all the internships, like you can send them whatever, and they could just deny it. They could say like no. So it's like.
Yeah, because they have to meet certain requirements, and because you can't graduate without your internship, so it can't just be like, they don't want it to be like a blow off easy course, They want it to be like the capstone of your time here at BYU Idaho. So
well, and in a way that's good for you, because it will be something that I can put on my resume. I want to
absolutely practical world.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the hard thing about our majors, because we are dealing with people, and people have to be confidential. So it's like, how am I supposed to help people if I can't know what you're dealing with?
Yeah, true. Yeah. And also, I have to start now because it takes a while to get approved for the internship.
I'm gonna start my next semester, so it usually takes a few weeks. So if you have another like full semester, then you could probably do it then.
Well, I know, but the internship guy lives first.
Yeah, you do have to do your practicum before, but you can apply for your internship
ahead of time
before you finish your. Yeah, I think like close to the end of the semester when they can see you're gonna pass, because you have to pass your practicum before you can do your internship.
I know. And did you do yours already?
No, so Brother Galbraith is the guy who teaches intern or practicum on class or on campus, and I took classes from him before. I call him Guru Galbraith because I talk to him all the time. I'm in his office all the time, like asking him about career and life choices. So he told me that it would be best if I got some really hard classes like research methods and stats, and
I did that already.
family and community relationships out of the way. And then he said for me and his class, so it won't apply to you guys because you guys are doing it online and they are different teachers, but he says for my class, it's a 4-credit class, but I treat it like a 5 or a 6-credit class.
Oh,
Like
gosh.
I work you really hard. And he's like, the average grade is usually a C or a low B. So, and people who take a full credit load usually fail the class. Because it's an important class, and he has really great reviews, and people love the class, but he pushes you hard.
See, that's why
So
I'm
I'm like,
afraid
oh.
about that class. That's why I'm like, ouch.
Well, I have a lot of friends who've taken the online ones though, and have really good things to say about it. So you should be fine.
Yeah, because I'm gonna take that one with family community that I haven't taken.
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
I'm taking that next semester too.
Yeah, you are.
I'm taking that one right
Yeah,
now.
I'm taking it on campus though.
Who are you taking it?
Oh, fun.
Are you taking it online?
Yeah, I'm taking it online.
Good. Who's your teacher?
That's an excellent question.
So I'm taking it next semester from
Teacher,
the teacher.
I
Who is it?
What class are you actually? Let me just see. I'm on 01, 430-01. I hope you're on that class, Elizabeth.
Oh no, I'm in 430-03.
Oh,
I have Tonks.
I got.
Tonks.
They told me that I don't remember my teacher, but they said that she's really great.
What's her?
Lori,
Is it
Lori
Hawks?
Morton. Lori Morton, I think.
Morton, okay.
Is that her? I don't know. I don't remember her name, but I wanted to take her. With
I'm
her.
taking a class this semester from the lady who created the Family and Community Relationships class. Her name is Linda Hawks. And she created it and then made it available online. And she's really cool. And so the class is cool.
I really like it online.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a good
in
class.
real life. Not that you guys aren't taking it in real life, but on campus, we go on field trips, I guess. She said.
Nice.
Yeah, she said one year she took a group because they do like day field trips, like 2 or 3 times during the semester, and they go do service projects in the community because it's a family community relationships class, and how the family plays in with the community and vice versa. So you do field trips and like have hands-on experience. She said one semester we went and volunteered at the Family Crisis Center here in Rexburg, and we helped with this activity in this charity event. And it was going really good, and my students were really enjoying it. And this little girl comes in, and she comes up to our booth to get one of the treats that we had made, and we were talking to her mom and providing resources to her mom. And all of a sudden, the little girl starts screaming. And we're like, oh, the mom thought she was just having a temper tantrum. But after a while, her tongue started to like swell. She was allergic to something they put in the treat. The homegirl went into anaphylactic shock. So Sister Hawks is like, no more treats.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Yeah, but
yeah. No, in online you have to do 7 service hours.
I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's similar. That sounds like Sister Hawks.
Yeah, and actually it's really good. This is like what's really got me started looking at my internship in the community, because you have to like look at organizations to kind of answer these prompts on how like what you could use to help this family or this situation or whatever it is that week. And so like that's what's like really gotten me seeing all these like family like supporting organizations like Unity.
So maybe I should start doing that, because it's true. You have 7 hours of community service, and I have, somehow I'm just focusing on the practicum because I'm just terrified of that class.
You can do it.
No, there have been so many classes that they're like, oh, this is really hard, and I'm like, oh gosh.
And then you pass it. Look at you. You're a champ. 2 more semesters left, Mildred. You've got this.
No, I got this. I got this. I'm gonna be this old lady with the cane. Walking by graduation. Oh God. No.
Hey, if you end up coming here for graduation, let me know, Mildred, and
I will.
I'll show you the town.
Okay. See, the thing is this,
That
that
won't
I
take
have.
too long.
What, Lydia? We had a volcano, okay? That's pretty cool. We have 2 volcanoes.
Yeah.
They're called the buttes, but people always call them the butts
Yeah.
because they pronounce them incorrectly.
So who else
Yes.
is graduating in 2 semesters?
Me.
Yeah, I know
And I
Emily.
am.
Yeah. Lydia, you too?
Yep.
So you wanna go to Rexford?
I don't know if I'd make it up there.
Lydia.
Yeah.
I'm like, whew.
It's okay. You guys don't have to walk. You guys graduate regardless. Walking is just putting on a giant black bathrobe and wearing a funky hat.
I know,
Yeah,
but you
I
know,
figured I'll still get the like cape and
The cape. I wish we could wear capes.
I mean the
That would be
gown,
so cool.
the gown and cap. That's what I'm trying to
Just
say.
close your eyes, and imagine capes.
They need capes.
super
And they need a
woman.
mask. A little eye mask.
No cape.
Figured I'll still get
that's
the
funny.
gown and cap and pretend like I'm walking at home.
Oh.
Have your husband play 20 minutes of pomp and circumstance. It's not graduation unless his lips hurt.
I don't know. And the only thing is that the weather is gonna be so cold there in Rexford. It's like
Wait, no. If it's
No,
if you graduate in 2
not in
semesters,
April.
that's April.
that's
It's kind of spring. We have snow drifts, but we have brown lawns, muddy lawns.
But it's not like it's like January.
It's not freezing. Yeah, it's like 50, 60 degrees.
yeah.
Oh,
Are you
come
sure?
on.
No.
Oh,
way.
yeah. I got
No, when
married.
I graduated, hey, when I was out there and got my associate's degree many years ago, it was April and it snowed that day.
Lydia, shh. Yeah, no, I got
No,
married
but
April
it
8th.
melts like 2 days later.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
not like
I got
horrible.
married April of last year, and there were snow drifts in the church parking lot of where we had our reception. And we're driving to the hotel for our honeymoon, and it starts to blizzard.
Oh god.
Oh.
We're like, we're gonna die on our way to our honeymoon.
Yeah, when me and my husband lived
Or
up
maybe
there.
that was on our way home from our honeymoon. I can't remember. It was just around the honeymoon time. So
Yeah. When me and my husband lived up there, I did all the driving because he would
Is your
kill us.
husband not familiar with this area? Are you familiar with this area?
Me?
Yeah. Do you know
Yeah,
this area? Is that why you always
my
drive?
husband.
Oh.
I did my first like 2 years in Rexburg. And then I switched online
Oh.
because we got pregnant, so we came back to North Carolina where my family was.
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I want to move to North Carolina or South Carolina so bad. My husband's looking at medical schools there, and I'm like, please.
Do
Oh,
North
yeah.
Carolina. Don't do South Carolina. South Carolina is gross. It's just
Yeah.
gross.
Okay. Good to know.
It's gross.
I want to
It's
live in a
Carolina or
coastal
Georgia.
town where it's like pretty and boaty, and I can go to the ocean on the weekends.
You should
Into a
move to Elizabeth
tan.
City. Because
Is that where you live?
like an hour away, but I live like literally like right down a block from me. I can see the river. People have boats all over the place. You could just go.
Oh, see, I want that.
The neighbor, like people here are so friendly. Like my
Uh-huh.
husband, like our neighbor across the street has like been like, you should come.
See, that's what I want.
Yeah,
Gotta convince my husband.
See, I want
I
to
don't
move
think there's
down
enough people out
south
here, but-
because it's more affordable down south.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
for
like-
sure.
So I'm
It's
thinking like,
expensive to live anywhere back east. My in-laws live in Wisconsin, right outside of Illinois, or right outside of Chicago. Like their city is considered a subdivision of Chicago, and their house payments are insane. Like, holy guacamole! My parents have hundreds of acres, and they've had their house paid off for years and make less money than my in-laws,
Yes.
who have a smaller house and way less acres and will never be done paying on their house. And cars are expensive, property taxes are expensive. It's just expensive to live there.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I'm telling you. I don't know. It's like I think.
But also, some people on the flip side like to have something to do on Saturday night other than go make out on a mountain, which is all we have here. Or the drive-in movie theater in the summer. Don't get me started at the drive-in in the summer. Or literally, we go bunny hunting. I kid you not. We hunt for bunnies. We take big police spotlights, we shine them on the bunny, and we shoot them. And then we cook the bunny, and we eat the bunny.
No, I don't believe you. You don't do that.
Oh, yeah. Homegirl,
yeah.
don't you know what? I've had bunny stew more times than I can count. I've had duck
That's
stew.
my backyard.
I have had squirrel stew.
No, you
Have
kidding.
you
Yes.
have you heard of the dumpster diving that happens at the end of every semester?
When people go and get stuff that people have thrown away, yeah, home people be crazy. Okay, but my friend did that last semester. She got like an IKEA couch.
Yeah.
I was like,
I've done it when me and my husband got married. His friends talked to us about it, and we're like, this is weird, but we did it with him because we were like, okay, we'll support you because he's been doing it for years, and we found some awesome stuff.
yeah, because especially if you hit up like Mountain Lofts and North
The
Point,
nice-
because the housing complexes bring in these huge dumpsters. They're like train car size dumpsters, and people just go the week of checking out. They just go and put all their crap in them. People are throwing away good stuff. My friend
Like crock
literally
pots.
has an IKEA couch. She has like a gray IKEA sectional. And the only thing that was wrong with it was one of the underneath one of the cushions, one of the springs poked through and ripped it. So all they did was they took plywood and they cut it down and stuck it under it, and you can't even tell.
That's amazing.
They did that for free.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I know.
So this is the gist of Rexburg. We have 2 volcanoes. We have a drive-in movie theater. Sometimes dumpster dive, and we eat bunnies. So you should
I don't
definitely come
believe
walk
you.
at graduation. We do. Okay,
You
Mildred,
do?
next
You
time,
eat the bunny?
next time I have bunny stew, I'm gonna send you a picture.
No.
We do. That's why we go bunny hunting.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you a few. I have tons in my backyard. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
See, and I've never liked bunnies that much. I don't like bunny stew that much, but my dad loves it. So
I said that you were kidding, for real.
no, for real. We bunny hunt and
Or-
we eat the bunny. Or we give the bunnies to our dogs. So
Are you a Rexburg native, or are you just
I'm even better than a
Idaho.
Rexburg native. I'm farther south. I'm a St. Anthony native, which is like 15 minutes north
Yeah.
from Rexburg. So I grew up right by the sand dunes.
Okay,
A
yeah.
friend of mine just moved
So there's
here.
this really random thing, Mildred, in Rexburg called the sand dunes, and it's like a giant desert. It's like freaking
Or-
Dubai desert. And then there's like a bunch of hicks who come and dirt bike on them and ATV and stuff. And
We have a bunch of
kind of weird area.
We have a bunch of wannabe rednecks in Vegas that go out with their big old RVs and their little toy carriers out to the big dunes that are sand dunes. And in northern Nevada, we have a sand dune that's as big as a mountain, literally. We have people from all over, and man, they have some crazy accidents from up there.
Oh yeah, my mom's an advanced EMT in St. Anthony, and she like holds people's jugulars in. I kid you not.
Yes.
Like people like bleed out, and my mom's just like holding their jugular, keeping them alive. Then she comes home and makes spaghetti for my family. So it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, no, they have crazy. Like one time, this guy got in an ATV accident, or not an ATV accident, like a 4x4 accident, and it started on fire. And they like had to put the fire out and like pull him out, and his leg was like compound fracture, his bone was like sticking out, and it's like all this crazy stuff. Sand dunes are busy. Bad news, man. Bad news, man.
No, stay away.
No. No. Okay, so with all those things, I can't wait to go to Rexburg.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't even talked about all the restaurants, which are just a bunch of non-authentic Chinese food and really surprisingly good Mexican foods, because we have a lot of Hispanic people in this in this area, and lots of really good French fries because we grow a ton of potatoes here. So.
And fry sauce.
Yeah.
Yes,
Lots of
fry
fries.
sauce. Oh, I hate going other places because they don't know what fry sauce is. I'm like, they're like, what sauces do you want? Oh, I want fry sauce. And they look at me, they're like, that's not a sauce. And I'm like, come at me. Tell me it's not a sauce one more time, Barbara. Tell me it's not a sauce. Because it is a sauce.
That is true. I do miss the fry sauce in Idaho.
Guess what? All you gotta do. This is the
Fry sauce
Idaho.
on the top.
Yeah, you just tablespoon of ketchup, tablespoon of mayonnaise, squirt of pickle juice, boom. And if you want to get fancy,
it?
mustard.
That's it.
That's it. You didn't know how to make fry sauce? Oh, we have not trained you well. You didn't leave. You weren't ready to leave Idaho if you didn't know how to make fry sauce.
Hey,
know
the
what I
latest one that they're making here is they take ranch and they mix it with hot sauce.
What is that supposed to be? What is it called?
I don't. They're calling it their secret recipe. The guys at work.
Secret?
I'm like, whatever.
Where do you work?
I work at a charter school.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
I'm their general fill-in. So sometimes I'm a counselor, sometimes I'm a teacher, sometimes it just depends on what's needed.
Yeah. Well,
And that's
now
what I
you're a
do.
culinary master because you know what ranch and hot sauce is when they mixed.
Hello.
What?
How could you be a teacher? You're working towards your bachelor's. You can't teach here without the bachelor's.
Oh, well,
She's like
we
a
only need, I had my associates, but I had 82 credits, and that's all you need you need 60 something to get your license.
Oh wow.
But
Oh,
then
I wish
you
I
have
lived
to
in
take,
Vegas.
but you have to take all these tests, the same tests the teachers take, and you have to take credits every so many years, just like the teachers do, but you don't get paid as much and you don't get any benefits.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
you can't do a tax deduction on all the classes you have to take.
Oh,
Like the
that's
teachers
a
can.
punk.
So
Okay,
kind
but
of,
then you have experience already. So if you want, you
Yep.
can go on to become a teacher, right? Like a regular.
Yeah, well, the problem with me is I learned years ago I don't sit still very well. And so if I sat in the same classroom, I'd get really bored really fast.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm good at going wherever, being whatever we need that day. Or
Mhm.
I take care of all my sweet kids that are on my connections program, check in, check out system for the little naughties that be your issues.
The little naughties.
They're my favorite. They're always mischievous.
That's true.
So
They
that's
add
good,
variety.
actually. That's really good because here you need a master's in education in order to be a teacher. Plus, I don't know how many certificates and
How much does a
whatever.
teacher make though there?
Beginning, yeah, how much do they get there in New York?
I think that they begin with like either 65 or 75.
Wow.
Yeah, and then after 10 years, actually, when they retire, they could be making like up to 125, 135. Like, so it's like
Oh.
it's really a good career, you know.
But is the cost of living higher too?
Yeah, the cost of living is higher.
Well, I mean, but it's still, that's a pretty good salary. I mean, for like, let's say, I think it's good for a woman because once your children are a little bit, ready to go to school, then you're working and they're at school.
Yeah.
And then you have the summers off. And then your income and your husband's income, then you're good, Because if everybody makes about like 100,000, you can have a decent living with, let's say, 200,000. So
Yeah.
you're not rich.
In my area, the starting salary for a teacher is 40,000.
See,
See, that's what we have for the first year.
40,000.
Yeah, for the first year.
But then you don't have too many requirements. Like here, the requirements just kill you. It's like,
Keep adding up to be highly educated.
Yeah, and you cannot do it without the master's. You need a master's degree. So,
Ugh. Yeah, if you have a master's degree, then that's more. They
Yeah.
start you higher.
see. I mean, here, okay, so if you go to a private college to get your master's, right there is about, what, like $200,000 in debt? So it's ridiculous. You know, it's just education is so expensive.
Yeah, that's a house.
Yeah, in North Carolina,
Yeah.
right? I know, that's what I'm saying. I would like.
I
to
know.
live
I
in
want to
a
live in
house.
North Carolina so bad, and then I look at house prices, and I'm like, I don't need to live
How
there.
much are the houses there
Where?
It
in
depends
North
on
Carolina?
it depends
Like
on
where
where
I
you're
want to
going.
live, like the coastal beaches. The coastal beaches are really expensive.
Yeah, Outer Banks is becoming more and more popular. But like if you look at like Elizabeth City, which is like an hour from the beach, well, kind of surrounding areas. So if you look at like an area like Edenton, which is like right by Elizabeth City, like you could get a like 4-bedroom house for
How
150.
much? How much?
150.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
awesome.
I can buy, I don't know, 6 houses.
Yeah.
Oh my
My
goodness.
goodness.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to here. My friend is selling her 3-bedroom, like brand new, built it 2 years ago house, and it's only 175.
Oh my goodness.
It's got like nice countertops and master bath.
Wow.
Just really nice.
Nothing cost here then. Maybe a 1-bedroom studio apartment in a building, a co-op, or not even a condominium, because if it was a condominium, it would be like over 300,000. But
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
you can, it's just, no. Plus, property taxes are so expensive that,
Yeah.
So we have, you can get 1/8 of an acre, 3-bedroom, 2-bath for 200,000.
oh my
That's the
goodness.
cheap side. Those are
Okay,
like repos.
yeah. I think I'm going
Like
to Las
short
Vegas,
sales.
to North Carolina.
Hey, Las Vegas is really warm.
Yeah.
That's
But
kind
do you kill big tarantulas and sea scorpions, Lydia?
No, I've only seen one little tiny scorpion, and one tarantula that was tiny. It's very tiny.
Oh God.
Okay, I don't care how the size. Okay,
Anyway.
the fact is you saw.
I hate spiders, hate them. But
Me too.
other than that, that was in 2003. So I haven't seen any since then.
Okay.
Do you have
so
an
that's not bad.
exterminator come?
We do because of cockroaches, they're little, tiny desert cockroaches. They're more annoying than anything else.
See,
Where I
I could deal with little spiders, but not with cockroaches.
So we have
No.
an exterminator once a month that comes in and sprays and
Once a month?
yeah.
Dang,
Once a
Daniel. So we have these spiders. I'll show you a picture. They're called hobo spiders. And it's really funny because when people, Elizabeth is like, no. But when people don't know what a hobo spider is, I'm like, oh yeah, I killed a hobo yesterday. And people are like, oh my gosh, you killed a hobo. And it's like, oh, it's a spider, a hobo spider. But these things are so aggressive. They like chase you. Like they are mean, awful, nasty little disgusting things. That is a hobo spider.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And they are everywhere here. I grew up in a basement. Well, my room was in the basement growing up. And they would I would wake up and they would be in my hair, you guys. So we have an exterminator. Well, my parents have an exterminator come. And we call him Frodo, the bug whisperer. Because first of all, he looks like Frodo Baggins because he's short and curly hair and big giant blue eyes. Second of all, he's a magician with bugs. Because we used to make our own homemade bug spray and we'd get like spider traps and stuff and try and manage them that way. But he only has to come like once a year and
Nice.
then they're gone. But yeah, they're that's the worst part about Idaho is hobo spiders.
Yeah.
They're nasty.
Yeah, that's all.
Did you see a lot when you lived here, Elizabeth?
I thankfully never came across one, but I had heard about them and I
They're
wanted
scary.
nothing to do with it.
People don't understand how aggressive they are. Like if you try to kill a hobo and are not successful, they will attack you. They will run at you.
Yeah.
I
And it's like so jarring to have a spider run at you. Because usually they run away from you,
How big are they? How big?
It depends. Like a full size female is like with legs and all, like about
Oh,
that
wow,
big. So
that's
they get pretty
gigantic.
big. Yeah,
Oh.
but Elizabeth, did you ever see wolf spiders?
Grew up with wolf spiders.
Oh, wolf spiders they're even worse than hobos, but thankfully they're less common. I used to get these in my closet.
Elizabeth.
Gosh.
Do you see
Yeah,
that?
No.
They're like wolf spiders and hobo spiders. Usually you don't have wolf spiders if you have hobos. So usually it like alternates. So the years that we had wolf spiders, we didn't have hobo spiders,
No,
thankfully.
we have little spiders, but they are like tiny, teeny ones that look so weak and defenseless that I never kill them. I just
I always kill spiders.
no,
I
I
never
just
kill them. No,
take them
always
with
kill
a
them.
piece of paper and then throw them outside. And I'm like,
Oh, you're such a good person, Mildred. I'm like, die,
With
die,
8 legs
die,
and
die.
8 eyeballs. No, that's wrong.
Yes.
no,
No,
they're
you know
tiny.
eyeballs,
the worst
legs,
part about
thick.
spiders is they multiply and replenish so fast. One spider can have like upwards of hundreds of babies, Mildred. So
Yeah,
every time
we
you let
had-
one free, you let 500 more live.
My sister was really good at killing black widows. She used hairspray and a lighter.
Yeah, we had when we first moved into our house. At one point, we were sitting on a couch and we suddenly had a shower of little baby spiders come down on us.
See that little baby spider?
Oh,
It was awesome.
Mildred,
I was freaking out.
Mildred,
I had to shower.
don't justify this.
They're like tiny.
It's
They're
like Charlotte's Web, but
Look.
horror movie.
I don't know. They're like a tiny little like. No, they're so tiny.
Not doing it.
They must die.
They must die.
see.
Ooh, cat faces. Have any of you
Yes.
ever seen a cat face
Yes,
spider?
cat faces. They're kind of cool looking.
Yeah, and they're good because they kill other spiders.
Yes.
Ah,
Show you a picture of a cat face. That's a cat face.
They're cool.
move it a little bit. Let me see. Oh,
They have like a
On
big
its
I
butt.
haven't seen that.
Like,
No,
I
we
got
don't have
big
that.
butt and I cannot lie, you know?
No,
But
we
those are
don't
good
have
because
Yes.
cat faces eat other spiders. So those are the spiders that we let live.
Yep.
Because you know that if you've got cat faces on your front porch, hobo
You don't have
spiders are not
anything.
coming into your house. Because cat faces
Yeah.
don't eat flies, they eat other spiders.
Centennial spider.
They're guarding the gate.
No,
The worst thing
we
we
don't.
have here are like huge roaches.
Yeah. Ugh.
Do any of you see snakes where you live?
No.
Snakes, but I don't really see them a whole lot. But I know we have snakes.
Ugh.
No, one day my neighbor across the street was screaming, and then my husband went outside and said, "What's going on?" And it was those garden snakes. And my husband is like, "It's nothing." And then he just took a stick and put it in the trash can, whatever, and there was nothing. I never, because I'm terrified of reptiles. So
Yeah,
Oh.
no.
I don't mind snakes. It's like the copperheads that terrify me. I grew up.
Oh, those
Raleigh,
are like
had
venomous,
copperhead.
aren't they?
What?
Ugh.
See, I don't
Yeah,
have a
no,
rat-
that's
I
scary.
like our rattlers. You know where they are.
Yeah, true story. Yeah, I can't. Snakes creep me out. The
So,
worst that we get
Elizabeth,
here is water snakes.
You guys have those giant black and red like grasshoppers?
No.
I don't think so. I never seen
Elder
them.
bugs? Are you talking about box elder bugs?
No, my husband grew up in Louisiana. He calls them the devil's horses because they're so big and they're black and under their wings are red and they're
I don't think
huge.
we have those. I've only seen green grasshoppers here.
Yeah, I have seen like a green
Yeah,
yellowish.
we have a lot of green and yellow. We have yellow grasshoppers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
I'd never seen a black one until I went to Louisiana, and that was just, ugh, they're huge. And I'm like, ah.
Are they
That would be
these?
gross.
Are they these thingies?
Can you get closer? No, that's a true bug.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a grasshopper.
No.
I mean, they look exactly like a grasshopper, but ew.
Red and black grasshoppers?
Mostly black. You don't see the red till they flap their wings. Try to fly.
Oh! Oh, I don't like those.
See?
Is this them?
Could be. Do they have a bigger back leg?
Oh God.
Yes.
Yes.
I have
back
like a
leg is
sticker in
like-
That.
It's kind of hard to see. Oh,
Yeah.
see that?
There it is. That's the thing.
Oh, that is do they bite?
I don't know. I don't know. I stayed far away.
Oh, okay. You know how they talk about locusts during the famine? Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
if we ever have to eat grasshoppers, you guys just kill me. Just take
I know.
Have any of
I'll
you
give
seen
you chocolate,
Hidalgo?
okay? You can pour chocolate on them.
Have any
Hey,
of you
it's
seen
so
Hidalgo? The movie Hidalgo
No.
Yes.
with Viggo Mortensen. So it's based on a true story, and he races this big horse race in the Sahara Desert. And before he leaves, one of the locals or the natives is like, when you see the grasshoppers, eat them. They will keep you alive. Like, you won't have any other food in the desert. So lo and behold, grasshoppers come through. A big swarm of them does, and he catches some and he eats them. And you can hear the crunch.
No.
So gross.
No.
Nasty.
Can't handle it.
See, but when I went to Louisiana, I felt like I should have had a passport. It's
Really?
different there. Yeah.
My husband's cousins are from Louisiana, and he says the same thing.
It just,
Yeah, it's its own little culture. Louisiana and Mississippi, they're weird.
they are. James
They're
had
their own little United States over there.
Don't they
They
have
are.
like a French influence in there? Like it's
yeah, my husband's father's family, French. In fact, his dad got kicked out of first grade because he could not speak English.
Oh.
And he grew up in America. He was born in America. My husband's great uncle wouldn't talk to my husband unless he spoke the French,
Yeah.
the proper language. And he also grew up, like, generations have been in America, many generations, and they speak French. And they're like, we're going to make French the official language. And
Of Louisiana?
yeah, it's like, keep up the hope, man.
Does your husband speak French?
Yes.
Shut
He's
up
very
right now,
good.
Lydia. Your husband speaks
Right.
French?
Yes.
Does he
And
swim
Norwegian.
you?
He speaks a little Spanish. He's very good with language.
Wow, Lydia, that's impressive.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I cannot speak any languages. I can speak Hola, como estás? Me llama Emily. Donde está mi libra? Which is, have you seen my book?
Mi libro.
'Cause I learned it in school.
Me and
I
my
would
husband,
say,
And K hora es, which is, what is the hour?
Ah,
So I'm definitely the person you want to get lost with in a Spanish country.
I'll
yeah, me
teach
and my
you
husband want to
Spanish.
learn Spanish because we want bilingual children. I want my children to be bilingual.
okay, I'll tell you a
So
funny, go ahead.
go
Okay, I
ahead.
was gonna say, I'll
Yeah,
tell you a
go
funny story about bilingual children. I was hoping for that. My husband's teaching him, and he's teaching him French, and then he changes to Norwegian. He's teaching him Norwegian, and then he stopped teaching him everything, and then they invented their own language, and they said something to me like, "What is that?" And I said, "Gibberish."
ahead.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
And they were
Mom,
excited. They're like,
humor.
"We speak gibberish."
Oh, don't tell your teachers that, kids. I'll be laughed at the AA or at the PTA meeting. So
Oh, yeah.
my father-in-law got remarried, and he married a woman from Peru, and he served his mission in Peru. They met on his mission. That's why they got married. But so he speaks fluent Spanish. My stepmother-in-law speaks fluent Spanish, and my brother-in-law is really good at Spanish because he's been teaching himself. And my husband speaks pretty dang good Spanish. He's learning. And then their step siblings all speak Spanish. So I'm like, hey guys, how you doing? Hola. Like, I'm like feeling the pressure to learn some Spanish.
I don't know. I think that you do need Spanish a lot. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I think it's good to know.
Where are you from, Mildred?
I was born and raised in Ecuador, so I speak Spanish fluently.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And
But you
actually,
also have really good English too. So
Yes.
I don't know.
you done good.
I don't know. My husband keeps telling me, "Woman, what are you saying? When are you gonna speak English?" I'm like, "That kid, don't bother me. People understand me fine." I'm like, "Just don't bother me." Like, yeah.
So my husband started learning Spanish because he was a nurse, and then he did X-rays, and he wanted to be able to give him instructions, and he would speak very well the words he learned. So then they start talking to him really fast. He's like, "Stop, stop, stop! That's all I know." It's like, no.
Well, the thing is that once people know that you know the language, they start talking to you really fast. And there is so many, not dialects, but there are so many like slangs that sometimes you're like,
Yes,
"What
like
did you
Spain
say?"
Spanish and like Mexico Spanish. Whoa, like Spaniards have like a when they speak. They have like a lisp,
Yeah.
but then his like Mexico, because we grew up in a farming community and half of our workers are Hispanics from Mexico. They come just straight over from Mexico. And then we had a kid from Spain move here, and he got teased so bad for his accent because I could hear it when I was listening to him because I was so familiar with the like
Mexican accent, yeah.
Mexican Spanish. And now when I listen to my stepmother-in-law speak, even Peruvians even though they speak Spanish, they have a slang too. And I'm like, I can't keep up with this.
Well, see,
Like, which Spanish
Peruvians,
do I learn?
Yeah, Peruvians speak really fast because they have a friend
Yes.
she's from Peru, and I have to tell her like, "Slow down." I'm like, "You're talking so fast." Like,
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that.
Well, and I
Because
have
I'm
a,
like, every time I talk to her, I lean over to my husband and I'm like, is it just me or does she breathe? Does she just doesn't ever breathe. She breathes through her like tear ducts or something because she never stops talking.
my brother-in-law's from Brazil, and that's a whole different, he's like, "We speak Portuguese. Don't call it Spanish."
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, but that's a different Portuguese than the
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So, yeah.
It's just very funny. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I used to work on this place, and when I was younger, when I used to work in New York City, and I remember I used to get my lunch from across the street, and sometimes I would just order and go and get it. And these, the workers there were Mexican, and they used to say like, "Oh, the güerita," and I'm like, "What's güerita?" So one day I'm like, "What are you saying?" I said, "I know Spanish." I'm like, "And you always tell me güerita. What's that?" And they're like, anybody that have like a light color hair, they call it güerita.
Oh.
It's like they have different, like different words that we don't know. It's like we're like, what? So yeah. Like every
Absolutely.
country, I think, has like their own, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Their own jargon, is that what it's called? Or
Jargon. Yeah.
Jargon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have their own. Yeah. Little.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So do your kids, Mildred, did you like teach your kids Spanish? Was that like a goal for you as a mom, or did you not care if they were bilingual?
Well, no. I study accounting, so I work as like a bookkeeper, accountant, whatever. So I used to work part time. So I had this lady that used to come to my house, and she taught them Spanish because my husband doesn't speak the language. So it's like I couldn't talk Spanish at home. So my two girls, they speak perfect Spanish, like perfect, like and my son, he never really learned because when he was little, he started to stutter, and we just panicked. We were like, we took him to a doctor, and like, this boy is getting stuck whenever he talks and whatever. And he's like, "Oh, is there any other language in the house and whatever?" And we're like, "Well, yeah." They're like, "Just stop. Just don't teach him any other language." And he's the only one that, he took Spanish at school. So, but he doesn't really. My son just heard me saying that, and he's like, "It's your fault for not teaching me."
Oh, burn, mom, burn.
I'm telling you, my son has a hearing. He's upstairs, upstairs, but maybe his window's open or whatever. So he's like, he could hear you even if you're whispering. He comes again, what are you saying? I'm like, oh gosh.
Oh, that's kind of creepy. What's his name?
Zach.
Zach. Are you listening to me, Zach?
Well, I have the headphones.
Oh, headphones
Yeah,
then.
yeah. So he heard me, but yeah, yeah,
Oh.
that's my boy.
Oh.
Yeah, my sweet little boy.
And say, all right, I better get going.
Well, have a good night
Okay.
with your.
It was really great talking with all of you and getting to know all of you.
Thank you, Lydia.
Absolutely. I'll stop the broadcast to give Brother Brat this 2-hour conversation. Where only about an hour of it was actually academic. The rest of it was just bugs and stuff.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. We talk about things from
We got there.
home. Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
ladies.
Have a good night.
All right,
I'll see
take
you.
care.
Oh, but one more thing. Guys, did you check the study guide?
Oh, yeah. I don't think Lindsay put her portion in, so we'll have to remind her about it next week.
Do you know when is the exam?
I don't think it's. I think we have 2 more weeks.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
because I think we have the second exam, and then don't we have a final exam on everything? A cumulative final exam?
Yeah, I'm
think
pretty
so.
sure.
So I think we just have 2 more exams, Mildred.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. It was
See
really
ya.
great.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Bye. Good night.